What is up, peoples? It is RJ Silent Pilot here, and I have a new deck profile for you guys. A little late, but I got a video up in time. Well, I've been out because of work and school, but anyway, it's a revisited deck off old build I found on the OCG forums. It's called Debris Hero. It's an Elemental Hero variant, and this deck is based on milling your monsters into the grave, setting up your graveyard, and then grabbing with the Debris Hero and Miracle Fusing from the grave. So the only weakness this deck has is its graveyard, so it's really hard to protect it, and you got to set yourself up right. But anyway, it's a good deck. I've been playing it online on Dueling Network, and it's been playing out well. It has a good amount of combos that don't really rely on other things. They envelop as you go. So it's a budget deck. There are a few expensive cards in there, like the BLS and like the Synchros and whatnot. But anyway, it's easy to build, and it's pretty easy to pick up and just play. It takes a little while to figure out, but it's not too bad. Anyway, it's a 41 card deck, and let's get started. There's 18 monsters. Alright, like I said, there's a BLS in here. One of the more expensive cards. I do play lights, a good amount of darks, so he obviously became a splash ball option. Debris Dragon, probably the #1 key card this deck plays. He sets up your Xyz plays, he sets up your Synchro plays. He gets a lot of stuff going for you and just manages the plus like crazy in one turn. Double Card Troopers, he's an Earth, he mills, he's an aggressive beater, and he's a drawn engine. So he's a high must in his deck, he's a debris target, you can send him off with Future Fusion for Gaia. He's just good altogether. Next, 2 Spear Reapers. More darks. He's a wall. He's hard to get over. Debris target. Just good. Triple Raikos. I'm not a fan of MST as much as I used to be. I'm more into siding it. I'd rather have more stuff that does more damage, and it's more utilities in the deck than just the 1-for-1s. Like, this can destroy everything. He's a light. You can mill. It's just debris target. I'm probably gonna be saying that a lot this whole time. But anyway, here's the water part of the deck. 3 divas and a Lost Breaker. Here's an MST. Here's a Gachi. Here's a Catastor. Here's some more Syncling. And here's some Zero plays. This whole deck is just a giant utility. It's crazy. Sangan, he searches out basically everything in the deck except for the heroes and the BLS, so basically like at least 12 monsters. Next, the Stratos, which searches off triple Alias. Obviously, just by saying Alias, we play Gemini Sparks and we play Hero Blasts. And because of Alias, because he's an elemental hero by name, you can make basically all of the hero fusions. That's it for monsters. Spells, 15 of them. Pot of Duality. One Pot of Duality because it's an okay card. And because of Ryo, you can't really use it. And this single card can contradict the whole plan of the deck, because you want to be able to special summon, and you don't want to be able to like wait and play another Pot of Duality, get stuff. You want that minor consistency, and you want to be able to keep the deck flowing. Pot of Avarice, it's a high must because you mill basically the whole deck. Future Fusion, key card, high key card. You set up the Debris Dragon plays, you set up Hero Spark plays, not Hero Spark, Hero Blast plays, you set up Miracle Fusion plays. This thing is just universal all over for most of the combos in this deck. Mind Control. Book of Moon. Heavy. Dark Hole. Monster Reborn. Reinforcements. Triple Sparks. There's only 3 targets for Spark. That's the aliases. But since you gotta think, you're gonna be milling a lot, and you might be milling some of these, you might be milling some of the aliases, so you might want to compensate for all the card loss. Then Triple Miracle Fusions, which is also a key card, because you're milling all your fusion materials into the grave. You're setting up plays for these later on in the game. There's no wrong time to play this, but there are wrong. It's half and half. Like, You can be stupid and play this, or you can be smart and play this, but usually you want to hold on to these until you know when it's safe. 8 traps. I'm all into the chainable traps, all into chainable spells and stuff like that, so we play 1 torrential. There's a lot more field commitment in this deck than there was in the Frosty Hero build, so you really need that protection, and Road brings that to you. Gives that to you, my bad. Dust Shoot. There's no Mind Crushes because I don't want to mill them, and that'll just be a waste of space in the build. So I have 2 Compulse, which pretty much kills a lot of plays. Get rid of their Synchros, get rid of their Xyz, their face-down monsters, and just ram into them with everything. 1 Bottomless is tech. Bottomless is good. I'm not a fan as I used to be, so just the 1, because a lot of decks are setting up with small monsters like Plants and Tengus. While they're missing 1, they got 2 in the deck still, but Next we have 2 Hero Blasts. Amazing card. I think 3 is overkill because there's only 3 alias, and you hardly get this card. But when you do, it's good when Raikou mills or Trooper mills your alias, or the Future Fusion. Like I keep saying, Future Fusion, all that stuff, because this deck revolves around this stuff, but it's not one-minded. It's not a one-minded strategy. You set up as you go. Now for the extra, here's the hero portion of it: 2 zeros, Shining, and a Gaia. This build can go into more of these than these because there are, I don't know, I see more waters in the grave than I do lights and earths. But I usually use these guys for the requirements because you need an earth, you need a light, you need a water. But when you do get these guys out, their effects just kick off, and it just makes everything good. For the Xyz, a Utopia, a Leviathan, Leviar, and a Gachi. Leviar is another key card. It would be nice if I had a second one, but I don't know. The extra deck is very, very tight in space with basically every build, because you want to make room for everything, but you can't. But I'm not a fan of Roach. If I had one, I might play it, but I think Utopia is better. He's a little more universal. But I don't know. It's up to you guys for that one. Decisive Armor. There's a lot of fairies. They're still hot. There's Light Sworn that still get played, and this just gets all that stuff. Brionic. Catastor. Scrap Dragon. Stardust. Black Rose. Iron Chain. I don't have a Trish at the moment, but if I did, this would be definitely out. But Orion Dragon and Trish and this are very good options to have in the extra deck. I think this is better than Orion just because of his effect. You make the mill bad stuff or good stuff, and he's bigger than Orion. Orion does get rid of the good stuff. He banishes or removes whatever, the Stardust or whatever synchro they have. And then Trish is just basically the best synchro right now, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't have one yet. It's a bitch to get. So that's why it's budget. Next for this side, I forgot to mention, this deck is still in experimental phases, so there's always room for changes, so you don't have to copy it like card for card. You can always make small tweaks to it. But anyway, here's the side. I haven't been able to test this out yet, but it's just I make all my side decks as generic as possible to hit every deck that I think is going to be, just a problem against this. So 2 Veilers, 2 Quarantines. This doesn't contradict my deck at all. There's only 2 monsters that are like that special summon, or 3 if you count like the Utopia. But yeah, Utopia, BLS, and Shining. But that's hardly ever a problem. And he's a dark, and he's a big beater, so he fuels for BLS. Ryo, probably the best stun card ever. No room in the main. It's hard to swap good stuff back and forth. You want to make room for everything. So I think the side's a bit better. Double MST. MSTs in the main, I'm not a fan of anymore because I don't want to draw that 1-for-1. I'd rather have sort of Raikou or something. But if I know I'm going to get something that's going to be very difficult to beat, like Skill Drains, Necro Valleys, stuff like that, I'm going to definitely main these. Before I was teching Lances, but Smashing Ground I think is probably the best option Beckoning Light, I'm not Beckoning Light, Leeching the Light is good, but it's only, it's just towards one element. Like, this can be used towards anything. Java General Anubis. Like I said, a lot more field commitment, and if I know that my opponent's playing mad MSTs and like going crazy with the heavies, I'm gonna be siding this to protect my stuff. Next, 2 decrees. GBs, TGs, all that stuff that sets, I'm gonna be siding these because they're gonna be relying on their back rows more than they are on their monsters. Then finally, 2 Black Horn of Heavens. Second rank summon, everything special summons, so you're going to get rid of it, and you're not going to lose any life points over it. But anyway, yeah, thanks you guys for watching. A few guys have been asking me to rebuild the Fable Tengu Planet deck. I'm in the works, I'm planning ideas out. I'm going to see if like I can still put together and make some tweaks to it. I might need some stuff I'm going to probably pick up later, but I'm going to keep that in mind. The next deck profile will probably be either Fabled or if I get my hands on Karakuris. I'm not sure yet. I like them both right now, but yeah, try this deck out. It's easy to build, like I said. It's fun. It's competitive. It can stand up to a lot of decks. Cheap to build, and like anyway, hit me up on Dueling Network. You know my screen name is just RGM Silent Pilot YouTube. It's pretty simple. So just hit me up with the PM if you want to play. And as usual, keep rating, commenting, subscribing, and I'll try and keep posting more videos. And I'll see you guys later.